Hey everyone, welcome back to another live episode of the Relevant Recruiter Show. This is Donnie Gupton. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to be talking about ChatGPT. But before we get into that, as we're getting people joining this live, if you are with me, if you can hear me, give me a like, go into the comments, let me know that you can hear me and things are good. Just a reminder that this podcast here is on all major podcast channels: Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, etc., as well as you can see it streaming live either on my LinkedIn channel or my YouTube channel, Donnie Gupton. So thank you guys for being here with me today. For those of you who know me, know that I am a marketing coach specifically for recruiting firms, helping recruiting firms grow their business by essentially generating inbound leads by leveraging AI, automation, and personal branding. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about ChatGPT. If you guys can go in the comments actually and share what types of AI are you using already? Have you guys explored ChatGPT for your business yet? Or is this all going to be new for you? What I'm finding right now with the whole AI movement is recruiters are really approaching this very differently. There's a certain audience that still doesn't believe that AI is real, still believes that they're smarter than AI, and still thinks that for whatever reason, anybody who uses AI is not going to be authentic. Then there's the other part of the audience that has heard about AI, heard about ChatGPT, but haven't really, fully gone all the way in on it yet, or on any of these other tools. And for some of you guys, maybe this is the first time you've ever heard of any of this stuff. So love it. Thank you, Tony, David, Glenn. All right, cool. Kelly, Michelle, and Adita, thank you guys. Appreciate that. For some of you guys, can't see all your information on here, but thank you guys for that feedback. So today, like I said, we're going to dive into ChatGPT, give you guys a little bit of an overview of what this tool can do. So, essentially, when you're looking at ChatGPT, first off, I think it's incredibly important that you adopt AI into your recruiting business. In fact, I'll go as bold as saying, if you don't, you're going to be left behind. It's just the bottom line. Recruiters are not going to be replaced by AI, but recruiters that understand AI and automation and technology will replace recruiters that don't. So if you're not fully bought into this thing yet, these concepts yet, you need to get all the way in. Now, the next point I will make by that is AI doesn't really replace anything for us. It actually just helps us become more efficient in our systems and in our processes. So don't think that we're on here going to say, hey, this AI is going to completely take over something. Yeah, maybe certain aspects, yeah, it can do a heavy lifting. But what we're finding and the way we're implementing it in our Relevant Recruiter program is kind of combining the power of AI with the brilliance of our recruiters. And so that's what I would encourage you guys to do as we go through this and I share things with you, is think about not how you can use this to replace things, but how it can make you more efficient. So what is this whole AI? What is ChatGPT? So ChatGPT is essentially you having a chat conversation with an artificial intelligence tool. And you can kind of ask ChatGPT to write whatever you want, so to speak. So it's kind of like Google plus an incredibly smart virtual assistant, so to speak, kind of packaged in one. And so you can give the tool prompts, and then it basically takes action from there. So before we get into the business part, there's actually some really cool use cases, and we'll get into it, but obviously can support in your business stuff. But just to give you some ideas of some fun things I've been doing. We're planning a family vacation. I use ChatGPT to plan out a complete itinerary for the vacation, including stops, including places that are fun activities for my family, hotel destinations, all of that. And it completely laid out a travel itinerary for my family with stops, with links to websites, did all the work. And then basically my wife went through and then basically planned everything from there. It made it really easiest for to vet and plan an entire road trip, basically from Boise, Idaho to Portland, Oregon, and then back. Okay. So that's one of the cool use cases. Another thing that we've been able to do is my daughter runs track. She's in 8th grade. And so I've just been playing with the tool a lot, and I'm like, okay, act as an Olympic trainer. You're training an athlete that is, in high school, she has a goal of getting a scholarship. She's a sprinter. Can you please lay out an off-season workout? And boom, every single thing in terms of weightlifting, sprint training, days, Monday through Friday, reps, everything. So essentially, in my opinion, like Google is going to become completely irrelevant, because rather than sifting through pages and pages worth of content, you can have this bot give you the answers that you need right away. Okay. So let's talk now specifically about the recruiting industry. So those are just kind of some of the fun use cases. But, the first thing that we're going to dig into today is how you can use ChatGPT to support with your marketing content creation. Okay. And so ChatGPT is, with the marketing side, we can do this. It's so cool. So first, you can just start in any content strategy should start with a strategy. Okay. A lot of people just create content because they were told to create content, but they're not really actually working a strategy. So you can actually use ChatGPT to lay out a strategy, and the more information that you give it, the better result it spits out. Okay. And we'll demo some of these things. I'll show you some of these threads here at the end of this training. But you're going to be able to really take and build your content strategy. Then from your content strategy, you can take and actually create LinkedIn posts. You can create articles. You can write guides. You can write ebooks. You can create video scripts. And if you're doing this smart, you actually work down from your strategy, lay out the strategy, then use the tool to help you script, for example, written content. Then I can take that written content. It'll create a video script or a video outline. I don't recommend scripts, but I recommend outlines. And then boom, in like one effort, and I'm talking about 5 minutes, guys, if that, you've got your entire content marketing strategy, laid out. So a lot of the things that I've been teaching people for years, we're actually able to do this so much easier. Now, the thing is that, when you're using ChatGPT, of course, it's going to give you kind of a generic response, right? And so with that, like I said, the more you give it, the more you kind of feed the machine. The machine actually becomes smarter with what you're trying to tell it to do. And then it starts spitting out an even more improved result. Okay, so like you can basically, and I'll show you, we'll lay out here an entire publishing schedule for a month. So you can be like, hey, ChatGPT, I'm a recruiter in the accounting and finance space. I want to create content that really impacts hiring decision makers. Can you lay out a content publishing schedule for the month of May, including topics and ideas? And I'll show you how it'll roll out here, and boom, it'll pull that all the way out. Well, you can basically have all those topics and ideas. Then you can take that topic and idea and be like, ChatGPT, write me an article about this topic. And then it'll build the framework. Now, this is where I think a lot of people will get kind of in trouble, so to speak, right? Is they're just going to copy and paste from ChatGPT, and just use it verbatim. One of the things that ChatGPT or an AI will never be able to do is replace authenticity. And so that's where my process and what I'm teaching my clients is we'll use ChatGPT to kind of generate the idea, to generate the starting of things. And then we come in and then we make our tweaks and make it more like our personality, and things that we would say, in order to, again, really drive that authenticity. So I really wouldn't recommend that you're just taking something, copy and pasting, but using everything as inspiration. So you could probably roll out like a week's worth of content in 30 minutes, and it'll be real. It'll be spot on to your market. And, I'll be honest, when I first started exploring this, I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to create content this good. No, it creates content. I would say it's going to be better than 90% of us in terms of the way it can create content. But that little piece of authenticity is going to be key for you guys as you guys roll that out. Okay, so the marketing, the content creation, being able to create personalized emails for business development. Yeah, you can build out a full-on drip sequence for business development with the tool. One of the things that I really like to do, and a lot of my clients are doing, is we take it and rewrite it. Okay, so you can actually, if you're already creating content and you had some really good performing posts from last year, copy and paste it, go into ChatGPT and say, please rewrite this using an authoritative tone. And boom, it'll spit out a whole new version of your content for you. And so, that's something, little tip. A lot of people overthink, content creation. You don't need to be always creating original, content all the time. I think that's where people kind of get burnt out, is they think they always have to have this new, fresh topic. Good marketers say the same thing over and over again, just in different ways that really impact their market. Yeah, that's a good point, Brad. And we'll talk about that. And Brad, 100%. You should actually look at that as an advantage. Brad left a comment, really concerned that lazy recruiters will exploit this tool and create more spam content with useless articles on LinkedIn. 100%, it's going to happen. 100% it's going to happen. So that you should look at that as a personal advantage for you to be able to leverage this tool and personalize it, knowing that, just like any tool out there, there's always a lazy set of our audience that's going to do things that are going to do things that are negatively impact our industry. But that's already happening without ChatGPT. So it's going to ramp up the noise. And again, that's why it's more for you. And this whole thing is like, you got to control your own narrative. You can't be quiet behind the scenes because if not, then you're going to probably fall into that reputation that's going to be built by recruiters that are out there using this lazy. So I think that's a really good point you bring up there, Brad. But I think it's actually, I don't look at that as a negative. I look at that as a huge opportunity. So we've talked about the marketing side of things. We talked about the email campaigns and things like that. Other AI tools, not ChatGPT, but obviously can automate your posting and things like that. And then the other thing that we really use it for is like our LinkedIn profiles, right? This thing can dial in a LinkedIn about section, a LinkedIn, cover or a headline. It can help you get really, really creative with what you're doing. So that's kind of what we've been doing on the marketing side. Again, we usually start with a content publishing schedule, then we'll kind of take and engineer that down into creating topics from there, then taking those topics and creating posts or articles from those posts and articles. And then once we have that created, then we take and we personalize that to overcome exactly what Brad shared, which is, not being stiff and lazy with the approach with it there. So let's talk about the client experience now. So we talked about client and candidate traction through content, but one of the things that you can do, and everybody's business model is a little bit different here. But one of the things I really encourage recruiters to do is not to be just another, order taking recruiter. And so in order to do that, like I have to show up and provide a different experience for my clients right off the bat. And so, I know some recruiters really get involved in complete job description creation, employer branding, and employer value proposition. Maybe you've never done that before, but now with ChatGPT, you can do these things incredibly, a lot easier for your clients and create some more value adds, right? So just some examples of what you could use the tool for. You can create job descriptions. You can actually create an employer value proposition for them. If you are in accounting and finance, you can figure out lists of accounting and finance job boards to find talent from. So you can help your clients by prepping interview questions for them using ChatGPT. You can guide ChatGPT to interview questions for specific technical functions, within organizations. So each position that they're hiring for, they can have a different interviewing process, different set of interview questions. Now, a lot of these things we would think that a lot of these organizations already have dialed in, but as you guys well know, because a lot of you guys do complain to me about the experience with the client, is they don't have these things dialed in. And guess who gets to be the one that can help them bring this to the table? It's a huge opportunity for value add for you guys to differentiate yourself with your clients. Okay. And so that's the thing that you can enhance with your overall client experience is the creation of that. Now, if we talk about candidates, another opportunity there, right? So you can create personalized career advice, which we can, obviously implement through content creation, but you could also utilize that on phone calls and things like that. You can help them do resume building. You can help them do LinkedIn overhauls. And again, like these things, I'm sure some of you guys are doing, and you probably have people on your team that are spending countless hours doing that. I'll show you how I put together a LinkedIn about section for a friend of mine who's looking to move to Boise here. in about 5 minutes. And I don't even do what you guys do. And it's pretty dang impressive after one crack at it. So again, you can create like a huge, experience, advantage for your candidates as well. Well, what are the other things that people gripe about, or what are the things that candidates gripe about? Well, hey, rejection letters. Well, shoot, maybe you're not good at writing that. Cool. ChatGPT can help you with writing a rejection letter. Maybe you're not good with responding. Maybe you're still learning this recruiting game and you're not exactly sure how to respond to it, to like a response of a maybe you reached out to somebody, asked them for business, they replied a certain way, you're not sure how to respond. You can literally take the context of that conversation, paste it in ChatGPT, and it'll give you some answers. It's just incredibly powerful with what you guys can do and bring this to the table, right? Just like we talked about with the interviewing questions for the clients, you can actually go into ChatGPT and say, I'm interviewing for a CFO role. Can you please provide the most probable questions I'll receive in this interview? And you can even go a step further and say, can you provide me some insight on how I should answer these questions? So you can fully prep your candidates, and then again, like I said, combine this with what you would say. You don't want to take everything from ChatGPT verbatim and do that. Now, you can actually use it for qualifying candidates. So you can use what you do is you would take a job description, put it into ChatGPT. Okay, and then you add the resume of the candidate, and then you ask GPT if the candidate is compelling and with reasons of why or why not. So, for those of you that are doing more high volume recruitment and you have a bunch of resumes coming into play, you can just have a process where basically you have that job description, you compare it against their resume, and just use the tool to start making these things more efficient. But as you can see, as I'm talking through this, which should encourage you guys, is there's not like, that's why there's the huge use case to have you guys still be involved with this, right? That's why it's so important for the recruiter and the human element to still be a part of this, because if people were just doing kind of what Brad said, then that's where people are going to get themselves into trouble. So I'm going to go ahead now, guys, and I'm just kind of popping into the comments right now. Yeah, so good question. So Stephen, same kind of similar question as Brad, which is like many people are going to be using it. There's going to be an overload of content, information for the audience, thoughts. Yeah, it's everybody's going to become a content creator now. And that's why your personal brand is more important now than ever, because the barrier of creating content. Okay. And I mean, I have these conversations with people every day. It's what I help people do. Well, what do I create? Well, that barrier is gone now because ChatGPT can literally lay out that strategy for you. So your personal brand and authenticity has to shine through, and you have to be in control of this narrative. You can't sit on the sidelines and be frustrated about it and watch everybody else do it. You have to become a part of the game and then ultimately win the game. Steven, I don't think it can scrape data like that. There is a free version. So let's talk about that real quick before I actually walk you guys through a couple of these demos here. So the free version, basically, you're going to get access to ChatGPT 3.5, which for you wouldn't know the difference. And right now they have ChatGPT 4. When you're on the free version, you kind of are on the, if the platform becomes overloaded, then you're going to get, you won't get access to it. When you're paid, it's $20 a month for their paid version. You get access to 4.0. You always get premium access to the platform. There's no downtime. Those are the big things, right? So I think it's a no-brainer for everybody to try it free. If you feel like you're going to use it, which you should, and put it into part of your process, then you could definitely make the sense for the $20 a month. Coming into some of these questions here. So Scott, yeah, you wouldn't be able to upload a resume, but you just copy and paste it. So yeah, it is kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass to do it that way right now. But yeah, you can definitely copy and paste these things. Mike Jones, great point there. He said using it to alternate job titles. You can actually use it to help you create Boolean strings for you. Carly's mentioning it for blogs, candidate messaging, creating job descriptions, more endless options, 100%. Yep, helpful but not replacement. So does anybody want to see this in action? Go in the comments. Let me know if you guys want me to see some. I'll demo some of these things out for you in action here. If people are interested in seeing that, feel free to continue to comment and ask questions in here, and I'll get to them as I can. So really appreciate all you guys that are hanging with me here live today, and hopefully you guys are finding some value in it. If you are, go ahead and tap that like button, and that helps us reach more people. So excellent. Oh, cool. I didn't think you guys would want to see it. All right, let's do it. So let me make sure you guys can see the screen there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. First, I'm going to show you. I created this, and I did this on purpose. This workshop. I'll show you guys the first thing that we did. Okay, this workshop, this outline, and what you guys are learning today came from ChatGPT. So here's the prompt: as the top marketing coach for recruiting firms, you want to create a workshop showing recruiting firms how to leverage ChatGPT. Can you please put together an outline? And here we go. So this is where today's training all started, guys. Now, since you can see I didn't talk about ethics and responsible AI usage, we haven't talked about tons about implementing things like that. We've talked about enhancing, client experience. I turned this more into enhancing marketing strategy, enhancing client experience, enhancing candidate experience. So again, I didn't use this verbatim, but this is what I worked on for this. Okay. And I'm going to continue to go down this thread here. So act as a recruiter, create me a process for automating candidate screening and preliminary. That's not, okay. So here's the LinkedIn Live. So now I just basically had this thing break it down in terms of time slots. And then I had it, please create a short description of the session. So if you guys actually go into the session of the notes of the session, this is the description. And then I said, great, turn this into a LinkedIn post. Okay. And so you can see how easy it is to do all of those things. So I just want to share that with you. So the next thing now, let's start some new chats. Let's have some fun. All right. So I did come prepared for this. So here's the first one, and we'll just see what it spits out. I'm going to stay in 3.5 because it's faster for you guys. I might do one prompt in a 4.0 for you. But I'm an owner of a third-party recruiting agency. I want to create a content publishing schedule for May 23. Please provide topics and ideas can add value to hiring decision makers. I'm in the Boise market and focus on SaaS sales. Please create a schedule that posts 3 days a week. Boom. Come on, perform. Hopefully I don't have to refresh because that does happen every once in a while. That would be my only knock on the tool, is that sometimes you have to kind of go back and refresh and regenerate your search. And sometimes this can happen when there's a heavy volume of users. And because we're live here too, I don't think that's all going to be, yeah. So let me go ahead and reload this and see if we can get this thing to work. Come on, ChatGPT, I'm trying to show you off right now and you're not cooperating. You're still not cooperating. We'll get this right here in a minute, guys. So just thank you for being patient while ChatGPT works through its kinks here. If you guys have any questions, yeah, go ahead and throw them in the chat there. I'll go ahead and answer some of these right now. See if this thing will go. Yeah, so I'm looking at some of these. Gary, you might be able to give it some prompts to find emerging markets. If you can give me a resume and job description, Derek, I'll try to do that for you on here. I don't have that prepared. You can try to create some lists of some companies and then put them into a table. Some of the things that I've done really haven't always worked. There it goes. Boom. All right. So some of the things that I've kind of guided on in terms of tables don't always work. So paid one yet, working on a starting recruiting agent. What do you? Yeah. So John, that's a good question. I'll get into that here in a second. So here's an example of just a very basic content publishing schedule. So here's a publishing schedule for May 2023 that can add value to hiring decision makers in the SaaS sales industry. How to attract top talent in competitive markets. the benefits of offering flexible work arrangements for sales professionals, the impact of company culture and hiring and retention in the SaaS sales industry. Okay, so there's week 1, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's your content schedule, right? Now I'm just going to show you guys another example. Now I can be like, all right, cool. I'm going to take this. Please create a LinkedIn post. Now, let's see, it wants to work slow today, but hopefully we'll be able to get this thing to crank something out in a timely manner. But basically, this is kind of the workflow I'd recommend. I don't know if this thing's going to pop up clearly with me being here live. It's not playing nice in the sandbox. So, but this is basically kind of how I would do it. And again, you can see that I'm giving, this is like the most basic prompt ever. You can say, please create a LinkedIn post, but use an authoritative tone. So boom, here we go. Here's the LinkedIn post. As a recruiting agency owner, I know that attracting top talent can be a challenge, especially in the competitive markets like SaaS sales. But fear not, here are some tips to help you stand out and attract the best candidates. Now, I would never use an opener like that, right? But like some of the meat and potatoes of this, I would probably work off of, and then I would put in my own little key points on that. So for me, what I would do is I would copy and paste this entire thing. I'd open up a Google Doc and I would start rewriting it. Okay. So this is kind of an example though, but if you were to take this, let's just say you carved out an hour, you worked off of your marketing sheet, okay, copy, paste, and then you build out your content, like you have your schedule for next week. So again, Brad brought it up. A couple of other people have brought it up. There's going to be a lot of people that are just going to take this verbatim, copy, paste, and post. Well, just like anything else, guys, people can sniff bullshit. So, some people aren't going to be able to detect it, but if you really have been building a personal brand, then people are, right? That's where, your ability to kind of tell some powerful stories and attach it to something like this is going to actually make it stand out and be unique. Okay. So there's an use case on the marketing side. Let's see, what's this one here? So let's say you're getting objections, right? And right now, based off of what I'm hearing in the market, there's a lot of objections that are happening, right? Some of you guys in some of your markets are probably busy as you've been, but I'm hearing a lot that things are just kind of slowed up a bit, right? So I'm a recruiter in the tech industry. Clients are using their in-house recruiter because of cost, and they believe since the pandemic is the best option. Can you give me some content ideas to shift their thinking? So now I'm just basically doing objection handling with my content right away. So of course, every time I want to do these things, it's going to have to regenerate this response. Normally, guys, you're not gonna deal with this. I think this is just slow because I'm live here, and my computer bandwidth is just crap. So, but we'll get this one regenerated, and then I'm going to switch topics from marketing into a different thing. So basically, if I wanted to get content topics to help overcome, limiting beliefs or kind of shift the thinking of my marketing. And keep in mind, guys, content is about creating content. It's about it's about emotion, right? If you want good copy, you're connecting with your audience emotionally in order to get them move forward. So cost versus value, time is money, access to top talent, flexibility, results driven. So now I can take and be like, all right, cool. Take something like that. Can you create me a LinkedIn post off of something like this? Okay. So let's talk about a LinkedIn about section. All right. This one is really cool. I'm going to talk about the use case. I've already kind of brought it up. A friend of mine is moving out here to Boise. My wife's a real estate agent here in Boise. Shameless plug. If you're moving to Boise, give her a call. But when she was moving to Boise, she had basically no LinkedIn. She just basically had like LinkedIn, like a lot of the candidates that you guys see have. They have a picture and their job title, and the rest of her profile was literally not filled out. So I basically asked her what her position was, and then I asked her a couple key highlights. And so you can see, like, I really gave this is the most basic prompt in the world, okay, that I gave this thing, and then watch what spits out. So this is for her LinkedIn about section. It's pretty dang impressive to start off of, right? I'm not saying this is the end all be all, but you saw how fast that spit that out. So imagine doing that for your candidates. Imagine coming to your candidates and being like, hey, what's your position? What do you want to do? Can you give me some highlights, some things that we can really sell for you? instead of telling people that, when you're a financial analyst that you review finances, what are some things that can actually stand out and differentiate? So this is in the LinkedIn About section we were able to write up. And then, take it a step further, create a LinkedIn headline to support the About. I'm going to do this after every single prompt. Gosh. So that's basically how that would work. There he goes. So it's pretty cool. Again, is this the end? Nope. But is that something that you guys could work off of? Yep. And then I can come back and I can say, give me more ideas, and it'll give more ideas. But because it's behaving rudely today, I'm not going to continue to do that. Now, one of the things I think that is really important for recruiters, a great way to differentiate yourself is through creating a process that you market. Is that going to win you all the clients in the world? No, but if I have a unique process that I can explain that differentiates myself from the next transactional recruiter that's lazy and doesn't have a process that they can explain, I might be able to win myself some business. But creating a process can be challenging. So I'm a recruiter in the engineering space now, and I want to market and sell my process. Here are the steps. Cool. So some of you guys know me better than others. Some of you guys know I have the relevant recruiter method. The relevant recruiter method is my method. That's my process. That's my system. Okay. And so, you can create your own process, your own system to market. Again, it's a big differentiator. And so, in a matter of seconds, you basically have something that you can take to market and sell. It's pretty cool. And again, is this the end all be all? No, but now you can come through, copy and paste, take it to your Word or your Google Doc, start making tweaks, start making it sound exactly like the way you want it to. Now, again, I'm just showing you guys the initial prompt. You can come back and give it a whole different set, rewrite all of these in a witty tone. We'll see what it does. So now it's getting more creative. We're like matchmakers, but for engineering jobs, we take the time to understand what you're looking for in a candidate. Then we use our magical powers and some technology to find the perfect match. So just another prompt, I'm getting that much more from it, right? So again, I'm just showing you guys kind of what we can do to scratch the surface with this tool. So that's how we create a marketing process. From that, the last one, I already showed you the last one, okay, which was the demo. So that's what I have for you guys. Oh, actually, no, I've got one other thing for you. So John, I think your question, I'm going to go through, I'm trying to get caught up on all this. So John, if you're working on an agency, I would just go in and give it that prompt. I would just say, I'm working on a startup agency. I would actually ask that exact question to ChatGPT. But then it would be like, okay, the next steps would be like, okay, I'm a recruiter working on a startup, and I'm going to focus on this space. Can you develop a process? Would be where I'd start. Can you help me, give me more information, and can you do some market research on this target market and start giving out some details from the target market so you have like a complete, strategy. So that's you basically can start building your entire process, John. Let's see. Yeah, quicker later in the evenings because there's less people on it probably. Austin, I use please too. That's funny. You didn't see that today. What you saw, Ron, was 3.5. We didn't do it a whole lot on 4. Maybe I'll show you the last prompt here on 4. Awesome, Mark. Glad you got some value out of that. Yeah, what I'm doing in the Mary and the doc, that's what they call the prompts. So yeah, can it generate computer data when conducting a search? No, it's not going to be able to like go into like a contact these competitors necessarily. We'd have to dig into that one a little bit more, Stephen. I don't know if I have that exact answer there. There is one more prompt that I'm going to give you guys here. And I haven't seen what this is going to spit out for me. So you guys get to see firsthand, because I wanted to do this for fun, because we're at this point in time in the call. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me share my screen again. I forgot that key element, didn't I? All right. So I'm going to do a new chat. I'll do GPT-4 for you. Now you'll see it's going to be hard to, it'll be hard for you guys to realize this, because we've already been dealing with this thing working slow. But GPT-4 does not spit out the answer near as quick as 3.5 does. But again, because we've already been dealing with that. So here's what I wrote this before to kind of show you guys this use case. I'm running this workshop live right now. I'm giving a demo of ChatGPT. Can you give me a quick outro script to encourage people to book a call to learn more about the Relevant Recruiter program, where we help them grow their business by generating inbound leads, leveraging AI, automation, and personal branding. So you guys are going to see this, and then I'm going to give you guys my call to action. Excuse me. All right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today for this live demo of ChatGPT. I really hope that you found it insightful and intriguing. Before we wrap up, I'd really like to invite you guys to explore an amazing opportunity to grow your business in my Relevant Recruiter program. So consider booking a call with me today to learn more about my program. This program is designed to help you grow your business, get off the revenue roller coaster, and generate a consistent stream of inbound leads by leveraging the power of AI automation and personal branding. And with our innovative approach, you don't need to chase clients anymore. Okay. We don't work on outdated methods. For everything that we're doing, automation, AI, technology, personal branding, authenticity, to be able to help you beat your next recruiter. So if you want to actually implement AI as well as the marketing system behind it, then book a call with me. That's donniegupton.com/book a call. Go in the comments, let me know that you're interested in booking a call. Send me a direct message if you're interested in booking a call. But that's how quick I can give you my offer from this ChatGPT tutorial here. So before I wrap, if anybody has any last questions, and before you guys go running to book a call on my calendar, I really appreciate y'all. It's been a really great group today. We've had over 90 people join us on this live. If you guys enjoyed this and found value, again, give me some likes. I appreciate it. We've got a great community of recruiters here. I love how everybody's thinking forward with this stuff. And I love how everybody's concerned about people utilizing ChatGPT in a poor way. And that's even more of a reason for you to get ahead, be on top of this trend right now, and help this make you more efficient with your business. So if you want to cut through the noise of that, use ChatGPT, but also use it with a higher part of your strategy. Again, grab the time to book a call here with me today. So really appreciate all you guys. I think that's it for today. I don't see anything else coming through. Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week in another live episode of the Relevant Recruiter Show. If you guys do want to watch this again, it is on my LinkedIn channel here. It's on YouTube, and it's on all the major podcast channels. Talk to you soon.